G'day everyone, and for those who have come in late, you're listening to Expand the Phantom podcast.
He washed ashore the sole survivor of a shipwreck, and upon the skull of the man who killed his dad, he said, "I'm mad, I must eradicate piracy, injustice and cruelty, and all my sons will follow me, so evildoers will believe that this man cannot die." The Phantom, the ghost who walks. The Phantom, enemies beware. The Phantom's always there, but you won't find the Phantom.
Hello, we are the Chronicle Chamber team, and this is Expand the Phantom podcast. Our website is chroniclechamber.com, and you can contact us via our email, which is chroniclechamber@gmail.com. You can also subscribe to us via YouTube, iTunes, or the various Android apps. Now, this is episode 207, titled Merry Phantomy. So basically what we're doing is we're celebrating and having fun with a bit of Christmas theme, which hence why we've got the Christmas decorations in the back and the stuff in the front. So today is going to be something a little bit different. We are going to be holding a quiz. We're going to try doing it live while we're recording, which might have some interesting results. And then what we'll do is afterwards, or if you haven't joined us during the quiz, we will have the quiz open so you can actually test yourself while you are listening to us as well. So without further delay, let's introduce the guys that we've got on right now, and that is Stephen and Dan, the regulars, and we've got some guests as well. So Stephen and Dan, how are you guys going?
Mate, I'm pumped. I'm ready and raring to go. It's not just Steve today, it's Quizmaster Steve. Let's just get this straight. Yeah. And I'll be your host this afternoon or this evening or whatever time you're listening to us. And I've got a whole bunch of questions here ready to stump you all.
That is good. And Dan, how are you, mate?
I'm excited by how excited Steve is. And look, I'm excited for this concept. I know that, I don't know of any other podcasts that have tried something like this. It could go any which way, we don't know. And no one, I think it's a great fun idea to have a Kahoot quiz. And what I would say is if you're listening to this right now and you haven't tried the quiz, the details are going to be in the show notes, aren't they, Germ? How to play. And I actually reckon you pause now, go and play the quiz and answer all the questions yourself, and then and then jump back on and listen to us, and so you can laugh at us as we go, and see how we go against your answers. That would be what my suggestion would be. But I don't know. No one's ever done it before.
Now, we have to give a shout out to Callum, who purchased these hats for us. So I've got the green one. And Dan, what colour do you have?
I appear to have the blue one, Germ, and I've got no idea how this particular shade of phantom colour appeared in my mailbox from Perth. The mystery.
It's traditional blue of Phantom, isn't it?
Yeah, you are the big fan of Phantom, exactly right. I got the green, which is the Aussie version, and Stephen, you have...
I've got this newfangled purple colour. I don't know about this purple.
It brings out the colour in your eyes. So without further delay, we've got a couple of guests with us who are actually going to be playing the quiz as we go. So first of all, we have Mikael, who is supposed to be working, seeing it's the middle of the day, so I'm not sure if he will actually be talking. And then we've got a guest from India. Now, I'm going to butcher your name, so let me apologise in advance. He did try and explain it to me beforehand, but I don't think I'm going to get it. It's Seuj
Abir.
Seuj
Abir.
Well, it's great.
Seuj Abir.
It's great to meet you. It's great to have you on. So just in 30 seconds, just tell us quickly about who you are.
Hi, my name is Seuj Abir. I am from Assam, India. I have always been a big fan of the Phantom since 2014 or 13, I guess. And my father introduced me to the Phantom. And I am looking forward to this quiz. I may not be able to answer all the questions correctly, but it will be fun. And it's an honor to be part of your video.
Awesome.
It's great to have you here. And if it's any consolation, I wrote the quiz, and then when I tried to do the quiz, I still got 2 questions wrong.
and I helped with like probably about 80% of the questions, and I still got some wrong as well. So yeah, so with me and Steve writing, there's a couple in there that are some real doozies and some real hard ones. I hope people enjoy them. I hope people get stumped. And there was even one that I went, Stephen, you got the wrong answer, and then he explained it to me, and I'm like, oh yeah.
I didn't have the wrong answer.
Well, I've been of no use at all, and have not contributed in the slightest other than to read the conversation. So I haven't read the questions or seen them at all. I'm going to have a crack verbally, and these guys can have a go at me, but I'm certainly not pretending to be eligible for any prizes. And we do have prizes tonight, Jim.
Yes, we do have prizes. Obviously, we're not drawing it tonight. So basically, we're going to be waiting for the live people to do it, but then also the people that are going to be participating later. And then Stephen is going to be managing all that and keeping track of who gets the high scores. And then we'll be, and then probably after the podcast in the new year, we'll be announcing who the highest person, or the top 3 or the top 2. And then of course we got some pins and badges and stuff like that as well. And then so we might do the top 5. I reckon let's get started, eh, Steve?
I think so. So we're going to start. Chronicle Chambers 2021 quiz. Okay. Round 1 is the newspaper. So we've got 10 questions, all from the newspaper. Who is this artist, or who created this? There's the picture. We've got Ray Moore, Wilson McCoy, Seuj Abir, or Mike Manley. Who drew that? You don't need to call out. You just need to push the button on your app.
This will test Mikael at work.
Yellow one, orange one. There we go. I might say that out loud for anyone who's listening. Okay.
You should, well, I suppose give us the 4 options as you.
Yeah. Well, I did say them because I didn't say the colours, so this time I'll say the colours.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Who is this artist? Red, Ray Moore, blue, Wilson McCoy, orange, Seuj Abir, or green, Mike Manley? Who drew that one? Blue, Wilson McCoy. Well done. Okay. Next question. What is Ray Moore's middle name? Is it red, Jermaine, blue, Daniel, orange, Stephen, or green, Joe?
just the Chronicle Chamber team.
Yeah. And it's orange, it's Stephen. Always knew Ray Moore was great.
Who picked me?
Hey. Who's got that one? Well done. In which story is Bengala first shown to be in Africa? Now, that you could use any spelling for Bengala, but is it The Mystery of the Island of Dogs, The Adventures of Lucy Carey, The Reef, or The Bad Ones? And thank you, it is The Reef.
Well done.
These are some good questions.
Oh, like I said, have a look at that name there. It says Quizmaster. I may have hosted a trivia night before. Okay, boosting up there. In what year did Mike Manley begin working on the Daily Strip? Was it 2015, 2016, 2014, or 2017?
I reckon this one's going to be a hard one. It's a real guess.
Well, 3 answers are in, and we're counting down.
2016. 2 people got that one correct. Oh, Mikael. Well done. What are the start and end dates for Seuj Abir's time on the Phantom Daily Strip?
Finished in 93, didn't he? None of the options have 93.
None of the options are 93. We've got 21st of August 61 to 17th of December 94, 21st September 61 to 3rd of August 94, 21st of August 61 to 3rd of September 1994, and 21st of December 1961 to 17th August 1994, and the answer is 21st of August 1961 through to 3rd of September 1994. Now, before we go on, people might be saying that's not right. Well, actual fact, his run started as a story was already going. So the story, I can't remember what the story was, had started at an earlier time. And the story that he finished halfway through that story. So the story ended after his time. So his time on the strip.
That's interesting. Thank you. I didn't know, actually.
There we go. Tune into the podcast and we learned something today. I'll tell you what, I didn't know that one until I wrote the question. I'll be honest. That one did take a bit of research. Well done. Boosting up there. Use. Oops, I nearly clicked on Endgame. The market is on a hot streak of 3 at the moment. What date was the first Phantom strip published? 16th of February 1937, 17th of February 1935, 9th of September 1948, or is it the 17th of February 1936? We've got 2 out of 3 people who have correctly chosen green, 17th of February 1936.
Interesting bit of truth.
Who got that one wrong?
Not sure.
Just an interesting bit of personal trivia. That's exactly 20 years before my mum was born. My mum's 20th. Sorry, my mum was born on the 20th anniversary of the Phantom being released. That's how I remember it.
Fair enough.
You can never forget your mum's birthday now.
No.
In what year did Tony DePaul solely take the reins on the newspaper strip? Was it 2003, 2004, 2005, 2002? So this is when he had full
dailies
control.
or Sundays, Steve?
Both.
Yeah.
Oh, both together.
Yeah. So it's 2004.
That's interesting because Lee Falk died in 1999, so it took a full 5 years for Tony DePaul to be the only one on the strip to cover both Sundays and dailies.
Yeah, there was a number of people working on it. I think Klaus Murphy, he got a Guernsey, didn't he?
So Closer and Murphy, Tony DePaul were doing it like half, and then Tony DePaul was doing it, got the reins while one of Close's story finished, but then he had a motorbike accident, which then meant there was a couple of fillers, and then Graham Nolan wrote a story as well.
Yeah.
So, that's why it became 5 years.
Yeah, right.
There we go. Okay. Oh, it's a battle there between Callum and Jesus. What was the title of Paul Ryan's first Phantom newspaper story? The Longbow of Little John, Temple of the Gods, The Crime Apprentices, or The Invisible Phantom?
I'm just terrible with titles. I wouldn't have a clue. Well done.
It was Temple of the Gods. Not The Invisible Phantom, which was his first story.
Ever.
I think.
That was his first ever story. Team Phantom,
yeah,
which you would be all across down.
I'm across, of course, the Invisible Phantom in my blue hat.
Okay. No changes in the leaderboard. We've got Marcus, then I'm going to stuff it up again. Eus and Mikael. Last one for this round. The Baron Khan sedition is Mike Manley's first Phantom story. True or false? I think there's a spelling mistake in that. It's true. It was the Baron Khan sedition.
Not how Baron Khan is spelled.
No, that was a
later.
Absolute typo, and I better fix that before anyone else looks at it.
So you saw it here first and only on YouTube. What an exclusive you've got if you're watching us here.
Yeah, you saw a typo and that
Forget that means that was not the name of the story.
Yes, I know, but I did say it was a typo. I did not mean to write that typo. As I said the question. Oh dear. Okay, round 2 is all about publishers. So we've got Australian publishers, we've got Scandinavian publishers, we've got American publishers. I'm trying to remember if I put any Indian publishers in there. I can't remember, but this is all about the publishers. What is the date of the first Frew issue? 9th of September 1958, 9th of September 1938, 9th of September 1948, or 9th of September 1949? And yes, it is 9th of September, 1948. Only one person got that correct.
Yeah, 3 different.
Yeah, well done.
Oh.
40. I think a lot of people. It's hard because Frew's been around for just so long. It feels like they've been there forever.
Yeah. And 4 correct answers in a row. You've shot to the top of the leaderboard there, Hughes. You're feeling confident? You reckon you can hold the lead for the next?
I think I can. Thank you.
You're doing very well.
Yes. Which was the first fruit issue to be published in portrait rather than landscape? Was it issue 3 or 4 or 5 or 6?
I've got the replicas behind me. I think number 3 because I can see it here.
It was number 3. You're correct, Dan.
The posters have come good for me.
Only 2 of you got that one correct. Or Mikael didn't.
Come on, Mikael.
This is
How
hard.
How many times did Ralph? How many times did Ralph Goss win best cover for Phantoman? 10, 11, 12, or 13? It is 12.
That's a lot of times. That's 12 years that he's had the. Wow, that's.
Mikael, you got that one wrong again.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening.
It's because you're a bloke and you're trying to do work and do the quiz at the same time. Let's just focus on the one thing at a time.
Okay, so that's quite a achievement. 12 years having the best cover.
I think he did it. I think he was doing covers for what, about 30 years, about 30 odd years. So maybe a little bit more. So anywhere between every second to 1 in 3 years, he basically was voted as the best cover artist for the year.
There you go.
Well, he's a very good artist.
Well, yes. Who was the writer of the 1000th Team Phantoman story? Andreas Eriksson, Daniel Carlson, Klaus Remethy, Jacob Haben. It was Andreas Eriksson.
That Bruce Singh Brotherhood story?
So the Singh Brotherhood story?
Name, isn't the story's name that Bruce Singh Brotherhood?
It's the story that's just been released. It was 25, 26, I think.
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, it's called The Real Singh Brotherhood, yeah.
The Real Singh Brotherhood. Yeah.
And Andreas talked about it on the podcast. So if you listen to the podcast, you will know the answer to this.
And I think
everybody did.
It's worth saying. He says there's no extra points for extra information. Like, well done.
But yes, everyone's got that one correct. There we go. I forgot to mention this at the start. The speed that you answer your question also helps give you your points. So for those playing along at home, but everyone's getting the correct answers, but they're getting a different amount of points. That's why your speed matters. In what year was Fru issue number 1000 published? 1990, 91, 92, or 93? It was 1992. However, the 1000th Fru issue was actually published when?
91.
91. But Fru number 1000 was done in 1992.
Yes.
Hence the change there. Okay. What do the letters in Fru stand for? Foster, Richardson, Eisner, Watson, Finnegan, Ranger, Eisner, Weasley, Forever Reading, Entertaining Writing, or Forsyth, Richardson, Eisner, Watson?
That's a good one.
I think you've actually got to see this on your screen to really appreciate the answers there. Well,
now, the answer, of course, is Forsyth, Richardson, Eisner, and Watson. And the blue answer came up because my son was watching Harry Potter at the time, and I was trying to come up with other names. So Finnegan, there's I think Seamus or Sean Finnegan. I think it's Seamus Finnegan in the story. Ranger, well, I just got the G off Hermione Granger. Eisner I kept there, and Weasley, I think that everyone knows Ron Weasley.
It's worth commenting just while they're highlighted on the screen there. Forsyth, Richardson, Eisner, and Watson. Eisner and Watson, I think they were gone from Fru, weren't they? By 1950 at best, I think.
No, I think so. They put the money in, but they didn't actually start publishing it. But they kept them on for.
Yeah, but they weren't active partners in any way. And Forsyth went from 1948 right through to Jim Shepard's time. In like 1988, something like that. So full 40 years with the company. And I don't know his first name. It's not Seamus Finnegan or Seamus Forsyth. I wish I did. But so for the first 40 years of Frew under that one man.
Good on you, Mr. Forsyth. You had quite the foresight.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, there we go. That's how it works here. Who was the 12th editor of Phantomin? Rolf Lindbergh, Ulf Greinberg, Mikael Sol, or Klaus Redmurthy?
This is a very difficult question, I think. Like the 12th, who knows the order?
Well, no one knows the order, but they're all famous names.
He's not the most popular one, so.
And it was off, for those of you keeping score at home.
That's tough question, I reckon, Steve.
Mikael got that one wrong again.
I mean, I don't. The 12th.
Which USA publisher has published the most Phantom comics? Marvel, Charlton, Dynamite, or Moonstone?
This should be easy because we talk about it like in probably every third or fourth podcast.
Especially back in the early days of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Moonstone. I don't have the actual numbers, but Moonstone is quite ahead of the others.
And Germ, you do mention that at least every third podcast, I reckon.
Yes, you do. I remember listening a lot of podcasts.
Well, I expect everyone to get that answer right, but I only see two people, so one person didn't even put an answer down for that one.
Oh dear. Okay, next question. Which of the big two comic publishers published a standalone Phantom comic first? Was it DC or Marvel?
A standalone Phantom comic? Oh, that'd have to be DC, wasn't it?
It was DC. Now, why isn't it Marvel, Jermaine?
Yes, why isn't it Marvel? Because it wasn't
Because
a
of Defenders of the
standalone.
Earth?
So Marvel published Defenders of the Earth in 1988, which was a year before DC. But it's not DC because this was actually one of the ones I got stumped on because the question is a standalone Phantom comic, which the Defenders of the Earth isn't a standalone Phantom comic. So that was a good question. But you stumped me, but you didn't stump these three guys.
No, I didn't. Yeah, Jermaine took me to task during the week. He said, hang on, I know I said standalone Phantom comic on this one. There we are. No change on the leaderboard yet?
No.
Not if everyone's getting it right.
What was the first Frew issue published by the Frew Crew?
Ooh,
Was it 1743, 1744, 1745, or 1746?
It
was.
I had 1749 in my head as soon as you said it.
No.
And that wasn't even an option.
No. It was 1745. I think the Snake Cult or Snake Gang or something like that.
Snake Ring.
The Snake Ring, that's
Snake
it.
Ring, that's right.
After a long hiatus where a lot of people were worried if Frew were coming back or not. And, of course, they've come back and are getting stronger every issue.
Jeremy McPherson cover, wasn't
it? It was Phantom Astride of Hero. It's
yeah. And what a great, harbinger is the word I'm trying to, for insight into what the Frew Crew was going to become with all new local artists and that producing covers and then ultimately stories and really good content as well.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, so up to the third round. So there's 4 rounds altogether. I was thinking about putting some extra bonus questions on at the end, but I thought, no, I'll just keep it at 4 rounds. So round 3, it's all about Chronicle Chamber. Now, I'm going to expect he used to do really well here because he listens to us. Mikael, well, he's on the podcast, so he should do okay.
Yes.
Famous last words.
Pressure's on.
Okay. Question 1. When did Chronicle Chamber launch? ChronicleChamber.com launch? 2005, 06, 04, or 07?
You couldn't have even put them in the right order for people. Joe Douglas started it. That was 2006.
Yeah. If you actually go to ChronicleChamber.com, it actually says
it's
established.
15 years. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we should do a shout out to Joe. I hope you are listening to this one, Joe, and I hope you enjoyed your name coming in as one of the questions there before. But I think certainly the three of us who work on Chronicle Chamber at the moment, and hopefully everyone who listens to us appreciate the work that Joe put in, as you say, 15, 16 years ago to get it all started. Good on you, mate.
Marcus is on fire. Well done. In which episode did the current lineup of Dan, Jermaine, and Steve host their first podcast together? Was it number 39, number 40, number 41, or number 42?
Had to be early 40s. It's not 39.
Is number 41. And Dan, you have such fond memories of this podcast. Do you remember what the podcast was all about?
Absolutely. It was a great debate. I got involved because you put the call out, the two of you were doing it without Joe at that time, and you put the call out for a Focused to ring you up and debate you on matters, and I did, and I've enjoyed the 160 odd episodes ever since.
It's probably our biggest mistake ever.
I really liked that episode. Your debate was really awesome, I guess.
Oh, good. I'm glad you listened to it.
I was listening. I was listening back to certain episodes every night. Like, I didn't listen to the whole thing because that would take far too much time. But I remember putting in the like a theme song, like a boxer or a wrestler coming out to the ring and putting on theme songs. Do you remember your theme song, Dan?
No, I don't. Like, was it an old country music song or something?
It was from Fiddler on the Roof. Tradition.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
I know I'm right. And Jermaine's was a song about postmodernism by the Bedroom Philosopher.
That's right. Something
for those who keep score. Okay. Everyone got that one correct.
Well done, guys.
Question 3. Who was Joe's first guest on the podcast? Was it Jermaine Parker? Was it Bradley Peach? Was it Philip Madden? Or was it Lindsay Walker?
Well, it's an interesting one because you say first guest. I know who was the first co-host, which was Lindsay Walker. Have you... Oh, sorry. Not everyone's answered yet. I shouldn't be talking.
I'm going to take her as the first guest. I think even Jermaine was the second guest. He came in episode 2, Lindsay on episode 1. Bradley was there fairly early. I can't remember to mind.
Episode 6 or so, yeah. And then Philip Madden was one of our first ever creators.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsay Walker was obviously the first creator, but yeah, in terms of more well-known, or in terms of the steps towards some of the bigger names that have ever been on the podcast, Philip Madden was a good one, I thought.
Yeah, one of the first. Okay, but everyone got that one correct. And if you want to listen back to that, that's episode number 1. Check it out. Okay, where was the first X-Band theme from? So if you listen to number 1, was it the Phantom 2040? Was it from the 1996 movie? Was it from the Defenders of the Earth? Or was it from the Phantom 2040 video game? It is from the 1996 movie. Now, before we have our current theme, thank you, Sammy J, it was Phantom 2040, but before Phantom 2040, it was from the 1996 movie.
The 2040 would have been came in
very early.
Yeah, and everyone knows that Joe loved that as well, so I'm surprised he didn't use that from the start.
I reckon Phantom 2040 was certainly the theme music when I first started listening to the podcast, because I did a search on iTunes podcasts for Phantom one time, and you guys were already up to, might have been episode 19 or 20 sort of thing, and then I went back and listened to the others. But 2040 was certainly that. I would have said that was the right answer. I didn't realise he'd used the movie right back at the start.
Yep. And Phantom 2040 video game actually gets a closing credit in one episode. I can't remember which one, but I remember putting that on as a closing theme. That was back in the days when I was editing the podcast.
That's why all these questions are from back in those times.
Okay. No change in 1, 2, and 3 at the moment.
Oh, Mikael got that one wrong. You're going to have to go back and listen to episode 1.
Hey, you undersold yourself here. You said, I might be lucky to get 1 or 2 questions. You're a streak away leader with 8 questions in a row correct. Well done.
Yeah, and sitting pretty on 16,683 points. Marcus is on 15,175. Paul Mikael is there on 7,838. He's just biding his time. waiting for fast money round.
Waiting for the Team Fantomen.
Happy Phantoming is now our traditional sign-off, but who signed off with it first? Was it Joe in episode 1, Jermaine in episode 22, Steve in episode 39, or Dan in episode 43? Yes, it was Dan in episode 43, and I'm really grumpy about this because I actually thought that I had said it first.
Well, for the past 2 years, we've all been praising you as well.
Well, so you should. And I realised there was one episode where I've gone happy, and then I cut off and said something else, and then I thought, I must have been going to say it then, but no, it was Dan. Dan had said happy Phantom. Well, he definitely signed off with it first.
Well, there you go. Thank you for doing the research because I had been happy to accept the fact that you had said it first when we've talked about it over the last couple of years, but the listeners know because 3 out of 3 got that right.
They did. Actually, I went back to check out, see if I can find it on emails or go through old Facebook messages and things like that to see if I'd said it somewhere in there. Yeah, it was. I was grumpy. I thought I've got this. No, it wasn't me.
Is that why you had the question in there originally? And then you realised that you weren't.
That's all good. Okay, who have we got? Number 6. Who designed the current Chronicle Chamber logo? Was it Seuj Abir, Grange Wallace, Jamie Johnson, or Jeremy McPherson? It's Grange Wallace. 2 out of 3 got that one correct.
And I continue to love it. Like what have we had? It's been a couple of years we've had Grange's logo now.
At least 3 or 4.
More. There you go. So yeah, I still really love it. We've never talked of it, and I wouldn't hear of changing it.
Oh. What is the P3? A special site access for Patreons donating $3 a month or more, the Phantom Fanfare, the Phantom Preservation Project, or the Perfectly Punctuated Phantom? That's another typo there. I was going to say the Phantom Fun Fair, but I put fanfare instead.
You say so.
But it was the Phantom Preservation Project. Which Phantom creator has appeared on the most episodes of the X-Band podcast? Is it Jeremy McPherson, Jamie Johnson, Andrew Constant, or Matt Kime? It is Matt Kime. Everyone's got that one correct.
Now, seeing we created the Bushfire book, should it be like us on there?
Yeah, no.
I actually, my immediate answer when I saw the question appear on the screen and before the answers came up was, and I can't believe I thought this, but was Seuj Abir, because we have had Seuj on at least 3 times, but Matt Kime has done that in our summer series alone last year, so yes. Fair enough. But
and then also on the podcast that just came out today as well of recording. So there's 5 plus we've done him with Shane Foley. Yeah, with the story, so that's 6, and then of course with his own demon story as well. So at least 7 times he's been on the podcast.
Good on you, Matt.
So thank you, Matt. Oh, and he has gone up to the 20,000 mark. Cracked over. Well done.
What are you doing, mate?
Thank you.
12 in a row.
In which episode did the fellas first interview Seuj Abir?
Just mentioned Seuj.
25, episode 50, episode 75, or episode number 100? It was episode number 50. We were so stoked to have a special guest for our 50th episode. This is Joe, I think, was there as well, wasn't he?
No, I think it was just... No, it was
us 3, was it?
Yeah, it was the 3 of us, and we had to stay up till...
yes.
We had to stay up really late. I think...
No, I didn't stay up. I had a nap, and then I woke up again.
Yeah. So I think the only other time the 3 of us have ever stayed up for really, really late was actually for Mikael's first Kickstarter campaign. We all stayed up to about 1 o'clock and we were talking about it.
Yep.
And then we were all like, yeah, we're going to go to bed. But then when we kept seeing the tally going up and up and up, we were talking to Mikael about it. And then we didn't go to bed for another 2 hours after that either.
Yeah, that was a great night.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't for us because I was very tired the next day, but no.
I must be honest, Mikael, I probably enjoyed staying up to listen to Seuj Abir and chat to Seuj Abir more. No offense whatsoever, but that was of the 2 nights. I hope you don't take that the wrong way.
No way.
Okay. What number episode was the December 2021 Comics and News podcast? Was it 202, 203, 204, or 205?
This is episode 207 that we're in, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could be any of those.
It's episode 205. I actually thought that this episode was 206, but no, there was one that, as you mentioned, has come out today. It's the Fruit Poll, I think. Is that what came out today?
Yeah, short 15-minute one.
Yeah, 15 minutes. Crikey, did we even get to say goodbye on that?
Why would you even charge your phone for that?
One person has got that one correct.
Yeah, that was a
Hey,
good one.
Mikael.
Hey, 4 in a row. Well done.
All right, so this is the final round. A bunch of random questions. They could be about newspaper, it could be about the movie, could be about TV shows, could be about a publisher, could be about anything related to the Phantom. Now, I'm calling it the fast money round. Anyone who remembers Sale of the Century back in the 80s and 90s, remember that in the final round, you had to really be quick on the buzzer. So every other round, you've had 20 seconds to answer a question. Now you've only got 10. So let's see if that makes a difference. Trying to add a bit of panic to the game. So question 1, in what year was the first Malin Diary published? 92, 93, 94, or 95? It was in 1993.
Oh, right. So that was year 11 for me, right in my sweet spot.
There you go. That was year 8 for me.
Jeremy, you weren't born then, were you?
What is the first known Phantom jam cover? Is it Moonstone, the Phantom Generations 8, Through 1813 Supernova variant cover, Phantom in 2018 Blood Rain, or Charlton 132, the Phantom of 1776? It is, of course, Moonstone, the Phantom Generations 8. Who are the artists on that one, Jerm?
Doug Kaluba and Ruben Ruben.
Yeah, I think so.
So that was we discovered that actually on our podcast with Douglas Kaluba. None of us knew about it. It wasn't on anything. Frew thought they had it, and then when we talked to Doug, he talked about how it was a collaboration, a bit of a jam, and we were like, "Oh wow, awesome!" So, and we've made mention of it a couple of times on the podcast as well. So again, if you listen to us, you should know the answer to that one. Who got it wrong?
I'm in the conversations with us, and I'm not aware of it.
I wouldn't have had a clue.
I didn't have time to answer, but yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah. Okay. Only 2,000 points now separate first and second. Still a handy lead, but you don't want to get any more wrong. In the 1996 movie, what is the name of the Palmer family's butler? Is it Lee Barry, Ray Falk, Wilson Lee, or Falkmore?
Good question.
That's a good question because the Palmer family don't have a butler in the comic strip.
Yes.
No, they don't. But when we had a podcast along or watch along with
the commentary, yes,
with the commentary, and this was mentioned. I know Jam definitely mentioned it. And what was the answer, Jam?
Falkmore.
Falkmore, of course, named after
Lee Falk and Ray Moore.
Very, very good tip of the hat from the movie, really, isn't it?
Also, thank you for mentioning me in that podcast. I replied to a tweet.
Oh, from a tweet.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
That's right. Yes.
What is the name of the 1980s cartoon which featured the Phantom? Was it The Phantom? Was it The Adventures of Earth? Was it Flash and Friends? Or was it Defenders of the Earth? Of course, it was Defenders of the Earth. Having looked back at that, I should have added in a Phantom 2040, but I think everyone would have got that one right. Anyway.
2040 was in the 90s, wasn't it? So,
2040 is the 90s,
yeah.
96, I believe.
Which company recently released a Jungle Patrol hat and beanie? Was it Comics Kingdom, Phantom's Vault, Through, or War Freak Media? Wolfric Media.
Wolfric, of course, Kelby has been on the podcast a couple of times, and with the jewellery as well.
Okay. Question 6. Who composed the score for the 1996 The Phantom movie? Danny Elfman, Randy Newman, David Newman, or Simon Windsor?
Good question.
David Newman is the answer there. Danny Elfman, of course, did the 1989 Batman movie. I don't know if he did the second one. Randy Newman, I don't know.
Yes, he did.
He did do the second one. Thank you. Randy Newman, plenty of good songs. A lot of people who's ever watched a Disney movie, particularly Toy Story, he's the man there. Simon Windsor was the actual director of the Phantom, but it was David Newman who did the composition.
The reason I would know that is because, and I may be very nerdy about this, and I'm exposing my nerdiness even on a Phantom podcast, but I would have had the Phantom soundtrack CD on repeat while I'm driving in the car, and I played that so many times, and at home I would play that CD round and round and round on repeat. And yes, so I was very acutely aware it was David Newman. Surely you guys did that too, yes?
I don't actually own the CD. I want the CD. So if anyone's got a spare copy of the CD,
oh really?
I want a copy.
There's two versions.
Is there?
La La Land Records.
There's the original, and then there's like a remastered.
Right. Okay.
There was a version called by a company called La La Land Records. They put 30 minutes of more music in the album. Remaster also.
Oh wow! I did not know that.
And that was what Mr. Jermaine was talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, I'm not really. To be honest, music's not really my thing. I don't have either of them.
Well, now I was just going to be happy with one, but now I can't be happy unless I got both.
And if it's an extra 30 minutes, I want the second one too. So there you go.
Rightio. You have to check that out.
I think the first one's got the Slam Evil red cover, and then the third one's got the Phantom on the Throne cover.
The second one.
The second one, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Mikael, he's back with an answer streak of 3. Good on you, Mikael. Nice. Rightio. Which question are we up to? Question 7. What is the name of the shape-shifting fractal biot from the 2040 series?
Oh.
Is it Heisenberg, Pavlova, Vaingloria, or Sean 1?
Isn't Hero or Devil or Heloise an option?
No, DVL is actually a character in Phantom 2040, and so Aunt Heloise is in there. All these other names are actual characters from Phantom 2040, but it is Heisenberg who is the shape-shifting fractal biot.
Right. So I wonder, did Breaking Bad pay any money to the 2040 peoples?
Well, Heisenberg was actually the name of an inventor or something, so he's actually the name comes before long before Phantom 2040. But they actually, Heisenberg from here and Heisenberg from Breaking Bad are actually both based on that same Heisenberg from way back when.
It's a great show. We have to do a fan commentary on this show.
Phantom 2040.
If you're a listener out there and you reckon that we should do a fan commentary on the TV show Phantom 2040.
Of course you should do. I would love to watch it.
Make sure you let us know via social media because, I think it could be something worth doing.
Well, we've got one vote already.
We got one, yes.
Yeah, I agree. You should do it.
Yep, there we go. We might have to do it.
To go back and watch the series. There's 2 series. Season 1 is only one available on DVD or here in Australia. Season 2 might be available on a certain preservation project. Is that right?
Yes.
It could be preserved somewhere, yes.
Yeah.
But we'll probably get pinged and won't be able to put it on YouTube like
we won't be allowed to put it on. Yeah, won't be allowed to put it on YouTube. So you'd have to
be an audio one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, which question are we up to? Number 8. What is the name of the Phantom's alias in the 1943 movie serial? Was it Kit Walker, Kit Prescott, Jeffrey Walker, or Jeffrey Prescott?
Well, if it's not Kit Walker, then they're wrong.
Well, there's lots of things they got wrong in that. But it's actually Jeffrey Prescott.
And what's the reason for that?
I don't know. What is the reason for that?
What is the reason for that? Because the alias Kit Walker had only just come into existence when this TV serial had actually been produced. Like Kit Walker was only created in 1943 or the end of 1942, which was not even by Lee Falk, but was done by Alfred Bester in the Bent Break Broder gang story, I think it was.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, right.
That's the reason why Jeffrey Prescott was used and not Kit Walker.
Kit Walker's tons better than Jeffrey Prescott.
Well, yes.
And you know what? It wasn't even Lee Falk who created it.
No.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah,
We've still got the answer, right?
Yeah.
Good guess. The quote, "things are hotting up," is attributed to which famous Phantom fan? Wally
Everyone
Lewis,
should have this.
Bill Laurie, Sammy J, or Josh Pike?
And friend of the podcast.
Sammy J. So what is the longest running Lee Falk Sunday story? Return of the Thuggies, The Eastern Dark at Janora, A Fourth Son, or The Rat Must Die?
Good question.
The Rat Must Die was Tony DePaul, so it's not that.
Yeah.
Return of the Thuggies is the answer there.
Oh, everyone got that one right. Well done.
Correctamundo. The other two, I think The Eastern Dark and The Fourth Son, were stories, I think, on either side of it. I think that's
The Fourth Son was a long story.
Yeah.
But not quite as long as Return of the Thuggies. It was basically 3 stories in one, Return of the Thuggies.
Hmm.
And The Rat Must Die, I think I read that that's the second longest story. And of course, that Tony DePaul.
Did spend a lot of time walking through tunnels in The Rat Must Die.
Yes.
And
So
there's no surprises here. We've got the grand champion, at least live here with us. Eus, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So let's just read out. So Mikael's got 20 out of 40. And he's got a score of 15,308. Marcus has got a score of 30 out of 40 with a score of 24,579. And then Seals has a score of 28,464, which is 34 questions out of 40. So there's
34 out of 40, my man. That's fantastic.
So I think the gauntlet's been thrown down, and it'll be interesting to see if anyone else can beat that.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how people go on the trying at home on their own. But it's been a real lot of fun to sit back and watch a few people go at it and have a chat about the answers as we go.
Yeah, it's been great. So those of you who are listening to this, if you've decided to play along as you've been listening or watching us, the points that you're getting, well done. You got some bragging rights, but you're not eligible for a prize, unfortunately. But only the people who haven't actually seen this before doing the quiz are eligible for a prize. So, like we said at the start, I will put up a code which will be on our socials, and so you've got until from now until then, or you had until now until then. And
you're talking to people for whom it is far too late now.
Oh yes, goodness gracious me!
But we will, as Stephen said, we will have the link. So if you haven't had a chance to play it, you can still have a go as well.
Yeah,
you can find us on our website, which is chroniclechamber.com. Our email, which is chroniclechamber@gmail.com. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, the various apps like Podbean, Player FM, Castbox, etc., and of course YouTube. So we hope everyone has a great Christmas. We hope that you get some awesome Christmas presents under the tree, or if you're like us, you probably just buy your own Christmas presents and you just ask for money, so you can actually get something rather than socks and jocks under the Christmas tree. From myself, thank you, happy Phantoming, and Merry Phantoming.
Merry Phantoming, everybody.
Merry Phantoming, one and all.
Merry Phantoming.
Of a shipwreck, and upon the skull of the man who killed his dad, he said, "I'm mad, I must eradicate piracy, injustice and cruelty, and all my sons will follow me, so evildoers will believe that this man cannot die." The Phantom, the ghost who walks. The Phantom. Enemies beware, the Phantom's always there, but you won't find the Phantom. He height.